crowned the king, and after the battle of Kurukshetra, Maharaj Yudhishthir became the king, and Bhimasena was the one kept at guard. That anyone who wants to meet Maharaj Yudhishthir has to go through Bhimasena. So everything in the kingdom was very nice and everything was going on very well. But then it was almost towards the end of Kaliyuga, and almost end of Dwapar Yuga, and Kaliyuga was almost about to set foot. So Kaliyuga needed permission to step foot into the kingdom of Dharmaraj Maharaj Yudhishthir, because Kaliyuga is Adharma, and he needs special permission from Maharaj Yudhishthir to come, even to start showing little symptoms of his own age of quarrel and hypocrisy. Kaliyuga needed to show and needed to get permission, formal permission from Dharmaraj Maharaj Yudhishthir. So one day when Bhimasena was standing on guard, there was a big commotion, and one of the citizens of the state, he came running to Bhimasena and he said, Bhima, there is a big perplexity that I'm faced with. And Bhima said, oh, what is your perplexity? He said, well, I have to meet Maharaj Yudhishthir. Please let me go. I'm in so much of confusion. So then Bhim said, okay, you have to first tell me what your problem is. And if I find that it is worthwhile for it to be presented in front of Maharaj Yudhishthir, then I will let you pass. So then this man, this citizen, he said that, when I was just passing by, I saw that there was a very nice, lush field of crops. And that field of crops was very nicely protected with very nice barriers and, fence. Then Bhim said, what is so astonishing about it? That's normal. He said, yeah, but then what was abnormal about it is that the fence started becoming alive and it started eating all the crops. And Bhimasen said, what? Are you drunk? Are you okay? How can fence eat crops? He said, well, that's what I saw and I'm completely perplexed. Please, I need, resolving of this matter. Please let me go to Maharaj Yudhishthir. So Bhimsen said, yes, you should go. Go and ask Maharaj Yudhishthir, what is it that you saw? Then the second person, Bhimasen was again standing. Then a second person came running in. And he said, Bhima, I saw the most astonishing thing. He said, what did you see now? He said, well, I saw that there was a man, he had a big pot of water. And with that big pot filled with water, he filled 5 small pots of water. Very nicely. He filled 5 small pots of water. And then when those 5 small pots of water, he tried to fill back that big pot of water, that big pot of water did not get filled up. Bhimasen said, I know the answer to this. Immediately Bhimasen said, that man must have spilled all the water outside. That's why the big pot didn't get filled out. And he said, no, I saw that not even one drop of water fell out. But all the pots of the small water pots could not fill that big pot of water. Bhimasen scratched his head. He said, okay, this is beyond my capacity. You also go inside, ask Maharaj Yudhishthir, see what he says. So he let the second person pass through. Then the third person came running, Bhima, what happened to you? And then this man said, I saw the most astonishing thing today. And Bhim said, what did you see? He said, well, I saw that there was a man sitting with a needle in his hand, and he was threading an elephant through the eye of a needle. The entire elephant passed through, and the tail got stuck. Bhimasen put his hand on his head and he said, oh my God, what is this? First of all, threading an elephant through the eye of a needle, that is impossible. And the entire elephant went through, only the tail got stuck. How can that be? Are you crazy? He said, no, this is exactly what I saw. I need resolving of this issue. He said, okay, it's beyond my capacity. Go in and ask Maharaj Yudhishthir. So he sent the third person in. And then Bhima saw from a distance that there was a fourth person who was running and coming. And Bhima said, stop, stop, stop. I don't even want to listen to what you have to say. You saw something astonishing today? And the fourth person nodded his head. He said, yes, I saw something very, very astonishing. Bhim said, I don't even want to listen to what you heard, because today is the day of astonishments. So you come with me. We'll go inside to Maharaj Yudhishthir and let's see what the three people before me said and what you also have to say. Let's see. So Bhimasen took the fourth person inside and they came inside. And then they came in front of Maharaj Yudhishthir, and Maharaj Yudhishthir heard the first person. The first person had seen that the fence was eating the crops. The second person saw that 5 big water pots were being filled by one big water pot, and these 5 small water pots were not able to fill back this one big water pot. The third person saw that the entire elephant was passed through the eye of a needle, but the tail of the elephant got stuck. And the fourth person, when Bhimasen brought the fourth person in, Maharaj Yudhishthir asked, what did you see? And this fourth person said, Maharaj Yudhishthir, I saw that there was a huge mountain, very, very big mountain. And one person, he just took a small, tiny, thin thread. He just looped it around his head like that, and he threw it over the mountain, and he just pulled on that string, and the entire mountain came crumbling down. Bhimasen, he was putting his hand on his head. He was like, what is this? No answer to all of these 4, situations. So let's see what Maharaj Yudhishthir says. So Maharaj Yudhishthir had a gentle smile on his face and he said, all of you are experiencing Kaliyuga. The coming of Kaliyuga is shown by these symptoms. So everyone was scratching their head. Kaliyuga? What does that mean? What is it? So please explain, Maharaj Yudhishthir. So then the first person, Maharaj Yudhishthir said, the first person saw that the fence was eating the crops. What does that mean? That in Kali Yuga, those who are meant to be our protectors will become our violators. In Hindi, there's a very famous saying, Rakshak Bhakshak ban jate hain. Means the protectors become our violators. So when this is one of a very, very, a prevalent symptom of Kali Yuga, that in Kali Yuga, our protectors actually become our violators. They come and harm us. They are meant to protect us, but they don't protect us. That is one of the symptoms of Kali Yuga. And then they said, oh, yes, it makes sense. Okay, this is one of the symptoms of Kali Yuga. And then the second person, he saw that one big water pot was able to fill 5 small water pots. But those 5 small water pots were not able to fill back this one big water pot. So Maharaj Yudhishthir explained that in Kali Yuga, parents, teachers, gurus will be able to take care of their disciples, of their children very nicely. But when thousands of disciples or when many, many children come together, they will not be able to take care of their parents or their spiritual masters in that same way. The attitude of gratitude lacks in Kali Yuga. The elderly people, they will give us all love, all shelter, all protection. But when we, have to show them our gratitude, we fail in that miserably. That's why we see in Kali Yuga, there's so much of old age homes. The parents, they give their, life, they give their blood to raise children. But then when children grow up, what do? They put their parents in old age homes. This is one of the symptoms of Kali Yuga. Another symptom is that, when the guru is, Guru doesn't necessarily mean only Diksha Guru, also Shiksha Guru, Vartma Pradarshak Guru. They do so much. They pour buckets and buckets of blood. Srila Prabhupada says it needs buckets and buckets of blood is needed to make one devotee. And when such devotees are made, such devotees, when they become initiated, they forget the work that some devotees have put in them becoming Krishna conscious. The attitude of gratitude is very much lacking in Kali Yuga. So this is the second symptom of Kali Yuga, the lack of attitude of gratitude, or the nil presence of the attitude of gratitude, rather. So this is the second symptom of Kali Yuga, which Maharaj Yudhishthir explained. And then the third person, he saw that a person was threading an elephant through the eye of a needle, and Bhimasen had big problems with this issue. He said that how can the entire elephant pass through, that too through an eye of a needle, and then the tail gets stuck? I mean, it is logical if you even say that the tail could pass through, but the elephant got stuck. But in Kali Yuga, it is opposite. So Maharaj Yudhishthir explained to Bhimasena, he said that, my dear Bhim, understand this, that in Kali Yuga, the judicial system will be such, there's going to be nothing called as proper judicial system, because big criminals who have committed offense, which is as serious, as big as an elephant, they will pass through by bribing the judicial system. It is the small-time thieves or people who have not committed any kind of offenses that they will get stuck like the tail of the elephant. Those who are poor, those who have no control over, by, having some money or, financial capabilities, they are the ones who get stuck. They are the ones who get crushed by the so-called judicial system. So that is one of the most prevalent systems or symptoms of Kali Yuga, that big criminals would pass through, but the small-time people who commit small offenses, they are the ones who get crushed by the so-called judicial system. This is one symptom of Kali Yuga, Maharaj Yudhishthir explained. And then Bhimasena said, oh, this fourth person, Maharaj Yudhishthir, what do you have to say for that? So then Maharaj Yudhishthir, he just sat back on his throne and he relaxed and he said, you see, Bhima, this entire Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults. But there's only one thing good about Kali Yuga, which this fourth person has seen. Kaler doshe nidhe rajan astihi eko mahad gunad kirtanadeva krishnasya mukta sangha param vrajat. That Maharaj Yudhishthir explained that what this person saw is that there's a huge mountain, and one person comes with a tiny string of thread, and he loops around that mountain with that tiny string of thread. He pulls on it, and the entire mountain comes crushing down. That mountain is our accumulated mountain of sins. So when we, with the thread of the holy name, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, when we chant the holy name, we are stringing around our mountains and mountains of accumulated sins. And by the potency of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, all that big Himalayan mountains of sins, they come crushing down. They're completely evaporated. They're completely dissolved. That is the glory of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And it is said, this is said by Srila Shukadev Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit, that Kaler doshe nidhe rajan astihi eko mahad guna. This Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults. But there's just one good quality in this Kali Yuga. And what is that? Kirtana deva Krishnasya. That's simply the chanting of the holy names of Krishna, Mukta Sangha Param Vrajat. That Shukadev Goswami is saying that not that, just by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, a person is simply liberated. No. He takes the name of Param Vraja. Shri Goloka Vrindavan Dham, that anybody who chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is eligible to go back home, back to Godhead, to the supreme abode of Shri Krishna, Shri Goloka Vrindavan Dham.